Hmm. It's extraordinary to me how we have often judged Eve in the Garden of Eden for being seduced by the devil. I can see why she went on ahead and did what she did. And then obviously we all know that the man was going to follow suit. And I can understand from my own perspective why I was in judgment of her, because you think that God said, everything here is yours. You can name the animals. You know, I have a partner for you. I mean, this is it. This is paradise. But just stay away from the tree of knowledge. That's all. And I think about God, like already knowing what was going to happen, like just walking away, right? Just saying these things. All right, y'all are good. Y'all good. You have everything you need. I'm out. And he goes to the green room and watch it all play out. The truth is, that lustful, cunning, deceiving spirit, it was built into us. You don't have to believe it if you don't want to. It doesn't matter to me. There will be some who listen and resonate with this, and there'll be some who are still in denial, are still deceiving themselves. Because if it wasn't in Eve already, she would not have been seduced by the devil, that snake. I can just hear it. Like I can hear, I'm there right now just thinking about this snake slithering around that tree and just having this conversation with the lust and connecting with the lust and the passion and desire that was already in her. The reason why I wanted to share this conversation with you is because something happened to me recently that made me connect all the way back to Eve. Except I made a different choice. There was this cunning energy, lustful, passionate energy that I had connected to and attached to for quite some time. And it took a lot to pull away from it. But you see, the thing about these spirits, these energies, whatever you want to call them, is that they will often show up in a different form. And that energy, that spirit, that demon could find you. So that demon found me all the way from Portugal. Yeah. When he initially messaged me, I don't think I responded to him. I remember seeing the message and I saw that he was kind of cute, but I didn't read his bio or anything, and I deleted his message. And about a month later, he messaged me to say, I don't know if you got my last message or not, but I encourage you to consider men abroad. Now, I'm usually ahead, so I had already made that consideration, but for me it was like, well, that's very perceptive of him and clairvoyant to reach out and have the audacity to encourage me to do that. But really what he was saying was he was interested, and that he was the one that he wanted me to consider. And so I messaged him back, and we went back and forth, and then we ended up on another app called WhatsApp, where you can send voice messages and video clips, and he had a British accent. Oh my God, this snake. And so I was already allured. I could already feel the sexual energy and tension coming from both of us, even though I recognized right away that energy is dangerous for me. And here's also something interesting, is that he teaches Tantra. And so he came in the form of a different kind of person, right? Like the previous energy was denying their spirituality, and I thought maybe if they were more spiritual, that things could have been different. It would have been better. But this time it came in the form of someone who was spiritually aware and conscious, but they still had the same behavior, that energy, all about me energy and what I want and what I need energy, was still there, and it was clear to me. But just like Eve, I listened. I was allured, and I was lured into his accent and the fact that he teaches Tantra, and he made me aware of some things that I wasn't aware of, and I was like, maybe, just maybe. But then he said something that really made me understand that this was a no. And I actually was telling him goodbye. I said, oh, this is not gonna work. You said XYZ, and that for me was clear that this is not gonna work. And then he started, saying some other things, like, to make me be empathetic for him, and and being that I'm a very empathetic person, I said, well, how about we kind of start over? And again, it was a mirror. He recognized that fire in me, that passion, that desire, that deceitfulness, that lust, and I recognized it in him. So we were clear that typically this doesn't work, but perhaps maybe he and I can do the tango a little differently. So what I said to him was that, well, here's what I'm looking for in this exchange. I want to heal from that energy. Like, I want it to not be so turbulent. I want to bring that dark energy, dense energy to the light. And I don't know if he heard me or not, because usually that energy is so trapped in itself and its own story that it is not capable of seeing the mirror. It doesn't want to look at itself in the mirror. It wants to deflect, but it physically enjoys the fieriness, because it fuels its own darkness, its own energy. We started messaging each other once again in the middle of the night because he's an 8-hour difference from me. And so in the middle of the night when it's quiet, things happen for me. I get downloads from God. And so I looked at my phone and I saw that he was online, and we started our conversation. And as we were talking and sharing, going back and forth, I ended up having a moment of tears because I felt the empathy for that energy that was in the other form, in the other being. And I'm not sure if it was at that moment or if it happened before that. I knew that I was no longer feeling this energetic attraction anymore, that lustful, deceitful, passionate attraction. It started slowly trickling away during the conversation. I'm always ahead with my realizations, but I can't always articulate what's happening until later, or some of my friends who have that gift will articulate for me. And so he caught up and he felt the disconnect. This energy says to me, what is happening right now? What is going on in your space? I want you to be present. I said, oh, well, I just turned off my light. I put my lamp on. I'm laying in bed naked. He's like, no, not that. What's happening with us? And then I was like, oh, I can answer that too. Well, I said, I'm not feeling that sexual energy anymore. And I told you that I wanted to heal from that energy, and I did. and then I asked him, I said, how do you feel about that? And he said, well, I'm confused. Because, I know that my off and on personality can be off-putting, but I don't really remember what he said after that, because by this time I'm ready to go to sleep. I was like, oh, I got what I needed and I'm done here. That energy is so deceitful and deceiving. It deceives itself. I have deceived myself for many years, even just trying to pretend like I wasn't transgender, or deceiving myself for many years that I wasn't transgender. But you see, the thing about deceiving ourselves that is dangerous or toxic for us is that while we are deceiving ourselves, the things that we are denying are operating unbeknownst to us. So everyone else can still see what we're trying to fool ourselves of. So when someone is telling you about yourself and who you are, and you're saying, no, that's not me, why is it that they see something that you don't? Think about it. He was confused, but I wasn't. And there was something I wanted to tell him, because I would send messages sometimes during the day, and he could get them whenever. I wanted to tell him a thought that came to me about that energy, and then my spirit told me not to. So I didn't say it. As I was about to tell him goodnight, I remembered And I said to him, and just to be clear, these were all in voice messages. I said to him, you know what that energy reminds me of? I said, it's a king-like energy. I said, I like to watch, king and queen stories. I said, but often the king was very arrogant. I was visualizing the king sitting as all of his people are bringing gifts so that they can be blessed by the king. If they brought a gift he deemed good, worthy. And often he wasn't impressed by the gifts because he has everything. What can they bring him that he doesn't have? And so he would deny everyone of a blessing because the gifts weren't good enough. I said, and then also a king has other people around him to help him make decisions, to make well-rounded decisions. But often the king doesn't listen. He's going to make the choice he wants to make. That is the wrong choice. I said, and it also reminds me of a little boy who is coming into himself and he's selfish and doesn't want to share. I said, that's what that energy feels like to me. I said, but I'm a queen and I'm looking for a king who recognizes that I'm his helpmeet. So needless to say, that energy also has to have the last words. And I'm certain what it does is it'll alchemize what I say and turn it back to me. And that's all me. It's not him, it's me. But what that energy doesn't understand is that I'm not saying that I'm not any of those things and that I don't embody that same energy. But the difference is I'm bringing it to the light. Right now at this moment, it's being brought to the light because I'm sharing it with you. I'm not afraid to see the tree of good and evil inside of me. I'm aware of it. I did not listen to his messages. I went to sleep. And I woke up this morning feeling well in myself. I decided not to bite or even pick off of that tree again. And I deleted his messages. And I guarantee that energy is not happy and is going to want to come and try to allure me again. But it's over.